Quit being a bitch. Yep. Just basically quit being a bitch. Quit acting like a bitch. Well, it's just time to basically quit acting like a bitch. Basically, just need to quit acting like a bitch. Quit acting like a bitch. Just acting like a bitch.
1,000 feet, turn left onto Grove Street.
Like shit. What's up, fellas? What up, fellas? What's up, fellas? K-Girl is telling me I need to speak in a more genuine and authentic voice. Like I didn't fucking know that. Like I needed somebody to tell me that. All right. The cigarettes are fucking becoming a thing of the fucking past. I need to start working on my fucking ass and thighs and midsection. But K-Girl did notice that I have been doing some push-ups, so. It's nice to have people notice. It's just that. It's nice. It's nice when people notice stuff, you know? It's nice. It's nice, nice, nice. Nice, 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 nice. Alright. Let's talk about maturity and why that's fucking essential for your fucking success. And why you need to
1,000
fucking
feet, turn right onto Post Street.
get mature without becoming a fucking boring windbag. Okay. Call that, motherfuckers. Get mature, don't become a boring windbag.
Take the next right onto Post Street.
So, let's get into it, shall we?
In 1,000 feet, turn left.
Three books that'll change your game and might just change your life. And these are actually going to be fictional books. A lot of people ask me what I read, and I don't read as much self-help as you think. And when I read self-help, I usually just skim through it, and most of them are just fluff and filler with a few good points. The reason I like fiction is you not only get the lesson, but you get a lot of examples. You get to see the character enacting the lesson. You get to see the character play out, and I find it much more graspable and textile. The Hustler is one of them. It's about a pool hustler, and basically the idea in pool hustling is you play for money. It's not about your money, it's about your ego, it's not about looking good, it's about making money. And essentially The Hustler is the story of a very talented pool player who has to learn this story the hard way through some very tragic events in his own personal life. And he kind of comes out the other side, an improved man with a lot of growth. And really what it's about to me is about fucking winning, bitch. deciding to win and finding a way to win and finding the characteristics in a human being that separate the winners and the losers. And they're a lot different than you might think. Most people, contrary to what you might imagine, they're not really in their life looking for ways to win. They're looking for ways to lose. Because losing is easier, it takes the pressure off of you, and it's more sustainable. Okay, so check it out. Hustler is an amazing book. It teaches you to be a winner in game, a winner in life, and it may do what you did to me and make you very into the play the game of pool as well. Second one that I would recommend to you is The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand. As a sort of side note, I almost considered doing Atlas Shrugged as well. But as far as it again, I think the Fountainhead is the absolute best one. To couch this, I'll tell you that this book will teach you true self-esteem. And looking at that hero, Howard Rourke, that is the perfect example in a literary form of what a human being with self-esteem does, and how he acts. In fact, if you were to take the book that a lot of people recommend, Six Pillars of Self-Esteem by Neil Brandon, there is a philosophical association between him and the Ayn Rand character. If you look at the characters outlined in that book as the characters of self-esteem, every single one of those is the Howard Rourke characteristic. To the extent that, because I read The Fountainhead several times before seeing that book, I look at that book, which is certainly a great book. I already all know all this, and it was much more enjoyable. The lessons grabbed me more because I was part of the story and reading it in the form of a novel. Now, the one caveat about this book is thousands of pages long, but that's a good thing because once you read it, you ain't gonna put that shit down. I've listened to that book on audio 4 times in my life, and that's a lot of hours devoted to that, and it tells you how strongly I feel about that. The third and final book I want to tell you about is actually a science fiction book, and that's Stranger in a Strange Land by Riva Hyland, and it's in the 70s. And the thing that's great about that book is the story is it's science fiction. This human being was left on a Martian colony by a ship that was there. I don't remember what the fuck, but and then he's brought back to Earth. But he knows the Martian language. And in knowing the Martian language, he's learned some truths about nature and about life, and he's learned the Martian philosophy. And let's see what the fuck street we're on now. You do 100 push-ups in 3 sets for 45-second leg lifts, alternating leg lifts. It's a bit of the free love. Multiple long-term relationship philosophy if you want to date multiple girls. Purpose and meaning of sex is in a relationship, and that makes them very good. But when you're high value, you're just high value. You're not faking fucking shit. When you're high value, you're just high value. You're not faking a fuck. I'll be right back. All right. There's something called multiple threading. Let's touch upon multiple threading here. Even on the fact that there's a method to my madness, I give you both threads. It's both basic and advanced. And what I mean by that is that it's basic and that you need to multiple thread. You need to get good at multiple thread. It's basic. It's a necessary threading of basic game. You aren't running a story to its completion. Then, when it's over, having this weird lull that you kind of start to another routine and run that, and then when it's over, stack that to another routine. The problem with that, the problem with linear stacking, is that you have that pregnant pause between routines, and that pregnant pause is also known as an awkward pause. It's awkward, okay? It's awkward for her. It feels awkward. It's not good pickup. There should be no awkwardness. If there's any bit of awkwardness in the pickup, the only way there should be is if you're so damn smooth that your routines are so damn tight that before she finishes, speaking a certain sentence, you already know what you're going to say. So you can cut her off and you can go into the answer. And it's just too fast. And you have to add a couple ums and ahs to make it sound authentic. That's the only time that you would purposefully put in awkward pauses. An awkward pause to me is a pregnant pause. It's something that I will install into my set purposefully when I know she is quite likely interested in me. It seems to be on now, so I will purposefully shut up and wait for her to re-engage me, as opposed to keep things going. So I need her to chase me and I need her to re-engage me. So oftentimes I will just shut up and wait for her to re-engage me. That is on purpose. But I am more concerned about not having those pregnant pauses that are more awkward by accident, and they can wreck and take your set.
Continue on
And
Post
imagine
Street
this
for half a
routine.
mile.
Excuse me, you know what time it is. Not that you'd ever open with excuse me. Excuse me is known as a vagrant's opener. Only vagrants and bums open excuse me. If you say excuse me and then continue from there, it sounds polite. She will presume, like if anyone says that, you're already grabbing your fucking wallet. Excuse me, do you have some change? Great. Instead of you say excuse me, excuse you. Hey guys. Switch up excuse me for, hey guys, who lies more, men or women? Who lies more, men or women? Hey guys, who lies more, men or women? You have to get their attention first. So you need that little attention getting soundbite. Just do not use excuse me. Worse than that are people who sequence these bad sound bites in a row. Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you. Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you, but I wonder if I could ask you a question. Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you. Excuse me is a vagrant's opener. I'm sorry. You're already apologized for talking. You're already acknowledging that you're a bother. You fucktard. See what I mean? People think they're being kind and polite, and you're already wrecking your set. I'm sorry to bother you, but I was wondering if I could ask you a question. Don't ask if you can ask a fucking question that just makes you sound like a fucking idiot, because you're asking a question, dipshit. Did you ask me if you could ask a question? Excuse me, do you know what time it is? And they say 10:30, and you say thanks. So, where are you from? So, do you feel that horrible fucking tanking because you fucking were lying about what you were asking for? Or you're telling them you weren't attractive enough for me to just come up and fucking tell you. So instead, this is how I like to do it. Multiple threading. It's basic. Because you have to get each. You have to do it early on in set. But it's also advanced because you have to get each story that you're going to be using up to speed. Each one individually has to be caught up to speed. That's why you train and you come out and you do each one individually on old ladies and guys. So that's why you can get those stories perfect, and then you can get to the premise. You begin your story instead of getting one story finishing, instead of one story finishing. Hello? Hello? By the end of it, you're out of stories. I would like to keep a few open. And then I cut it, pause it, and say, oh shit, that reminds me. You start another one. The reason why you do this is that it prevents conversational log-up. It prevents you finishing the story and then, okay, start another one, and then it just drops. And it's like, do they have the fucking energy to listen to you start another fucking story or thread? No. Let's happen with this one, and they say this one is over right away, and you finally fucking finish it. Instead of having to start a new one and tank your game, you get to say, oh, where was I? You go say, oh yeah, and go to a previously open thread. That's why you multiple thread, so you always have pieces of threads open. How cool is that? Huh? How fucking true is that? The reason why it's something that has to be focused on is it's an unnatural act to act naturally. Like you have instant normal people. But you can't do that. This makes it seem natural. Like in regular conversation with your friends, you tell them a story, but then that reminds them of the story, and they'll cut you off, and then they'll tell your piece, and it just sounds like a regular conversation with your fucking friends. And that's instant rapport. So the idea here is you run a routine, pause it. You run another routine, pause it. You go back to this one, you continue it, you pause it. Now an interrupt takes place. Somebody comes in. You can't continue halfway through the story with a new person because they're hearing it halfway through. That sucks. You're going to lose that. Do 100 push-ups, bitches. Shitty Hollywood. The first one, when you come to it, you get off the plane and there's the shitty Hollywood. But then there are these little bubbles of love and these little Hollywood bubbles up in the hills. They have parties and good people and they find each other and they stay close. You see the example there? Have you ever been to Hollywood? Touch the Hollywood sign? Oh, remind me. Have you ever been to Hollywood? There's these little bubbles of cool people up on the hills. And that when that's over. So when you go to the Hollywood sign, you see how natural that is. You keep it fresh and going. That's what you love to see. All my clients, all my cadets do. You have a couple left here. I always like to have enough conversational threads left open so that at the end of the conversation, when we finally split, when I split, we say, wow, we have so much to talk about. They'll be like, exactly. I got so much to talk about. I could talk to you forever. Perhaps we continue this at another time. But you have these open threads. She's the one who's going to say, God, I could talk to you forever. Exactly. Exactly. I could say I could talk to you forever. I can't listen to you, but I could talk to you forever. Nice little soundbite. This is dorky to be fucking around with all this shit. It's just dorkiness. never had to watch it. Something like that before. I gotta get a mirror. Is the highlight bill gonna fucking do that? Really? Oh, those are good glasses for you. Those are good glasses for you. You know? So, put out a video attacking the concept of showing intent and saying it had a very negative impact on a lot of people's game, and it caused quite a stir, and it resonated with a lot of people. A lot of people saw what I was saying, but the problem is I didn't really give you the alternative and show you what you're replacing intent with. It's a new concept I call premise, and it features prominently in the system and in the toolkit. So, I would couch this by saying I will teach you the most important thing in all of game right now. And I'd say I'm not kidding. The reason why I say this is the most important thing in all of game right now, and I'm not kidding, is I did some online coaching and lots of online coaching. And probably the first 10 to 15 guys I had in the online coaching program, about 90% of them had the same problem, the same thing over and over again, and it had to do with showing intent. This old school concept of showing interest in girl, letting her know that you like her, let her know it's a man to woman interaction, not a stranger interaction. Basically, the two major issues the guys were having were two of the same things. They never show intent at all. It's a half-hour conversation to nowhere, and it's a total waste of fucking time. Or they show it in a most brazen, obvious way. So, that's intent. Let's talk about how to show intent without being needy. You go up to a girl and say, hey, don't take this the wrong way, but you and me are getting married. Are you engaged already? No. And she says, I have a boyfriend. And he goes, yes, me. Are you going to tell him that this happened? That the cute guy approached you? She says, I don't know. Maybe it will be secret. I like that. Basically, how to show a girl that you like her, that you're sexually interested in her without coming across as creepy. And I have to say right away on this channel in general, and this is not some mainstream watered down bullshit that you have been fed a very long time, aka just be honest, just show the girl that you like her, and things will fall into pieces and she will like you back if it's meant to be. No, this is the fucking real world, bro. Wake the fuck up. This is not some fucking bullshit. In this video, we'll be feeding you the truth, the whole truth, and the harsh reality, okay? We're the ugly cousin of the mainstream knowledge. Okay, so, that being said, let's crank right into it. The basic premise behind showing a girl intent is that you're given a validation, but not emotion. Intent means you're given a validation, but not emotion. Let's say there's hot girls walking down the street, and you say, hi, you're very attractive. And you know what she's going to do? Very likely, but not always. She's going to take that validation, say, oh, thank you, and then she's going to walk home feeling all good, feeling all pretty, and not feeling slutty because she didn't engage with you any further. She basically got the best fucking deal. She's like, thank you, I know I'm pretty now. She's reconfirming some shit she already knew, that she's pretty. And Thank you one more time. Another confirmation that I'm hot. Thank you, you fucking loser, because then I'm a slut. So let me get the fuck out of here. So, if you want to actually increase your results with that girl, there's a lot of people walking around. Too bad there's not a hot girl here. So, if you want to increase your results from that girl, you want to add emotion to that validation because